It's insane. It's crazy.
Major flooding hits the Central 70 project, stranding drivers and forcing some to be rescued.
When I just driving, so I see, well, after that, I just be like, the cars be like that.
We're getting answers from CDOT about what went wrong.
This is still an active construction zone. Our systems aren't 100% complete.
Plus, the school year starts for kids in Douglas County. That means parents are taking their kids back to school shopping.
Water bottle, lunch bag, clothes, supplies, all their doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, their hair done.
And a United Airlines employee thinks the company is breaking a Colorado law, saying the company didn't pay her for taking time off while she had COVID-19.
A lot of people told me to come in because they thought I would get fired.
After that, when I see that old water just came on top of the car, so I mean, like what the hell, like what happened?
This was the chaotic scene on I70 last night when heavy rains caused flash flooding in and around the Central 70 project. Thanks so much for joining us for Denver 7 News at 11. I'm Jason Grenauer. Traffic was backed up for miles. Some people had to abandon their cars, or some tried to drive through that water. Firefighters had to rescue nearly 30 people, including several children, along the interstate and in neighborhood streets. This video from 38th and Blake shows people being rescued from an underpass. This is one spot where children were rescued. Now, if you're one of the people that had to be rescued, we do want to hear from you. You can reach out to us at contact7@thedenverchannel.com. A good news, things are a lot calmer right now. This is a live look close to that I-70 project. You can see all lanes of traffic are open and they are moving. Denver 7's Christian Lopez takes a look this morning at the conditions and has a response from CDOT about what went wrong.
We are driving along I-70 this morning where things are looking a lot better and a lot drier. We're going to show you what we're looking at. We have seen quite a bit of mud and some debris, as well as some abandoned vehicles. You can see a van there to the left covered in mud. Things were looking a lot differently last night. Last night was a whole different story. It was a traffic nightmare for several people. This is video of what it all looked like. Several cars were stuck in that water. You can see that traffic backed up on I-70. People standing outside their cars because there was nowhere for them to go. We talked to a man who was driving along I-70 when water suddenly went over his car, and because it was raining so hard, he said he couldn't even see right in front of him and ended up driving right into those floodwaters. He had to escape through his window.
The people over there helped, so and he said, don't move. So and I had my window down, so and he tried to open that door, but the door, they can't open, so I just get up from that window, It's insane, it's crazy.
Scary moments for people who witnessed that, and this all happened in the area of the Central 70 project. CDOT says their system was not prepared for this at all.
Our systems aren't 100% complete. Just as any construction project that's in an interim phase, you run a risk of potential flooding in a construction zone, but we're still going to conduct a very thorough investigation to see exactly what happened.
Thankfully, no one was seriously injured. CDOT says the Central 70 contractor will clean up, and once we find out more about that flooding failure, we'll let everyone know. Reporting along I-70, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
And take a look at this video from flooding near Brighton in York this morning. You can see cars and trucks driving through that deep water. Denver Fire had to rescue 11 people from I-70 in York, including 3 kids last night. Remember, you should avoid driving in flooded water because water could still be rising, and the deep water can hide debris like rocks and tree branches. Other parts of the metro also saw flooding last night. A viewer sent us this video of flooding near 80th and Federal. The water also flooded sidewalks in those neighborhoods there. Now, here's a look at some of the rain totals from last night, the reason why we saw that flash flooding. Westminster got nearly 3 inches of rain. Broomfield got more than 2. Parts of the high country and around the metro, including Denver, got close to 2 inches of rain. Katie LaSalle joins us now. And Katie, thankfully, that fast-moving rain is out of here for at least a little while.
Yes, it's going to be a lot drier and warmer all across the state through the week. But boy, what a series of storms yesterday, and those gusty winds as well, up to about 60 miles per hour, did cause some damage to trees. And outside this morning, though, no weather worries. We are still seeing a little bit of moisture streaming over the southeastern corner of Colorado from Lamar down through Trinidad. Otherwise, it's no weather warnings or watches in place place at this hour, and we should stay mainly dry here across the state. Temperatures this afternoon will be near normal. There is a slight chance for an isolated late day storm, mainly into the southern foothills, the Palmer Divide, and portions of southern Colorado. But for the Denver metro area, partly cloudy skies, winds relatively calm, and temperatures today you can see will be in the low 80s right around 1 o'clock, topping out in the mid to upper 80s. Now, Jason, this is one of the coolest days on the 7-day forecast. Some big heat building this week. More on that still to come.
All right, Katie, thank you. Down Denver 7 is following up on the flooding today, and we will have much more coverage starting on Denver 7 News at 4. You can also track any kind of weather with the Denver 7 app. It has live radar and our most up-to-date forecasts. It is free in your app store. It's a big day for families in Douglas County. Today is the first day of school. We stopped by Douglas County High School to see some freshmen arriving today. The district is the third largest in the state and has around 64,000 students. 2 districts start the school year tomorrow. Those would be Aurora and Adams 13. Now, one of the most tedious and often expensive aspects of heading back to school is finding and buying all of those school supplies. But in this age of technology, do kids still need as many supplies? Well, Denver 7's Danny New went to find out.
Going to school has obviously changed these last few years, but not everything.
What are you most looking forward to going back to school this year?
Recess. My favorite part is to eat lunch and stuff.
Classic. Here at the Arc Thrift Store in Brighton, we caught up with families getting a little back to school shopping done to see what's on the wish list. Now, obviously, what goes in your backpack has expanded a bit.
My favorite thing is probably all my school supplies or my Chromebook.
I guess it's the same thing these days, huh?
Yeah.
But for many parents and even grandparents, this time of year is important for reinforcing creative outlets that are a little more tactile.
She loves to draw, our granddaughter does, so it's great to find paper and pencils and pens and things she can do besides the phone and the iPad.
Michelle was actually on the phone with her daughter and granddaughter there, trying to encourage the hobbies that kind of have an uphill battle right now.
Do you agree with it's better to draw stuff than be on your phone or iPad? Oh, she said no.
Carol, thought you might like this. Smiley face. Well, it's at the thrift store now.
See, you never know what you might find in a book. And even if a lot of kids' reading gets done on tablets these days, that doesn't mean the costs don't still add up for parents.
Oh yeah, lots of school supplies. They're kind of expensive these days. They ask for so much, Water bottle, lunch bag, clothes, supplies, all their doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, their hair done.
Which is why they appreciate secondhand stores like Arc Thrift Stores to cut the costs.
It's so much cheaper than anywhere else.
Because at the end of the day, what school is really all about is getting kids excited about learning, no matter how they do it.
They handed us some vouchers that we could give to people. $5 off your expensive school supply shopping. Here you go, Grace.
What do you say?
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Arc Thrift Stores.
Absolutely.
You can buy a whole Chromebook with that.
In Brighton, Danny New, Denver 7.
And don't forget, you have 1 week left to apply for free and reduced price school lunches. The Free Meals for All program has ended, so families have to apply or pay full price. There are certain qualifications for the program, so check with your child's school for that application. The Best Western University Inn is turning into a temporary dorm for some CSU students in Fort Collins. The hotel will start removing king-size beds from about 70 rooms today and replace them with twin-size beds from CSU. It's because CSU doesn't have enough space for about 400 to 500 freshman students. One of the dorms there, Westfall, will be renovated starting in October, so those students have to live in the hotel to start the semester.
In terms of safety and security, all of our same policies and procedures are being applied to the Best Western than what we also have on campus.
2 RAs will move into the hotel to keep an eye on students. CSU says they hope to get students back on campus as soon as they can. A United Airlines employee thinks the airline is breaking a Colorado law because she claims the company didn't pay her for taking time off for COVID. The employee, who wants to remain anonymous, says she tested positive for COVID-19 at the end of June. She says she felt pressured to come into work the next day before managers sent her home a few hours into her shift. She spent another 2 work days at home, but says United only paid for one of them.
I'm hoping that United as big as they are, still goes by Colorado law. Even if you change your attendance policies, that these people that, need that money are still going to get what they deserve.
Under Colorado's Healthy Families and Workplaces Act, employers must provide employees with up to 2 weeks of paid leave for COVID-related needs. This applies to companies not headquartered in Colorado. Now, we asked United, who sent us a statement which says, in part, United provides all employees with generous allotments of time off, including paid sick leave, vacation, and holidays. United's dependability policies vary by work group, but all allow employees significant flexibility and opportunity to stay home when they are ill, and none count absences protected by federal, state, and local laws, such as the Colorado Healthy Families and Workplaces Act. Frontier Airlines is expanding at DIA. The airport broke ground this morning outside Concourse A on 5 new gates. Frontier will use that area for a new ground loading facility, meaning passengers will board their flights outside. Frontier plans to extend its lease at DIA for another 10 years once the new gates open. Well, the Broncos start the preseason this weekend, and CDOT is making it easier to get to those games. Plus, lawmakers are close to passing a bill they say will bring down inflation. We're taking a look at what's in that legislation and why Americans won't feel the impact right away.